This mutation is called Quick Killers and it is being played on Temple of the Past. We have 3 mutators active. We have Speed Freaks, Inspiration, and we have Killbots. Now, the good thing about this mutator set being played on this mission is Temple of the Past is an all-clearable mission. And because Killbots spawn from enemy structures, it means that if you were to clear this enemy base, and that enemy base, you will no longer have Killbots spawning. Inspiration as well is not really terrible on this mission. Some of the waves are accompanied with hybrids, but assuming there are no killbots, obviously. But if you're able to deal with the hybrids quickly, the inspiration should not be much of an issue. Probably the scariest part of this one is probably the Speed Freaks mutator, which means that these enemy bases will be right on top of your base pretty much instantly as soon as the attack wave spawns. Now, we have Zagara and we have Stukov playing on this mission. Stukov is a very good defensive commander. If he has a bunch of bunkers with a bunch of siege tanks behind them, he'll be able to hold reasonably well. As far as Zagara is a hyper-aggressive commander, so she'll be able to clear the mission very quickly. You can see here the Scimeter has already been moved because Stukov wants to take his expansion. We already have a bunch of lings that have been sent to Zagara's expansion to start working away and nibbling on those rocks over here. Now, unfortunately, Zagara does not spawn in time before the first attack wave will hit, so she will need a bunch of units to be able to deal with this first attack wave. And usually it'll be with the banelings that'll be spawning from this baneling's nest. Mastery-wise, let's just have a quick look. We have 15 and 15 into volatile, infested, infest structure, cooldown. We have the Apocalypse cooldown, we have the infantry duration, the mech attack speed. Over here is Zagara energy regeneration, baneling damage, and then the intensified frenzy. So let's see what happens here. So we have a bunch of banelings now that are ready to engage with us. Now, one thing you can do over here, and this is something I only recently started doing and I did not do for this game, is you can actually borrow your banelings and have a little bit of baneling landmines, and you can actually get a lot more value, especially if you're up against Zerg attack waves. Now in this case, because you're up against Adepts, you're not really going to get that much value out of it, especially with Speed Freaks. It becomes really difficult to catch, but there we go, these banelings are ready to go, and they're wiping out that attack wave. First Killbot is out, and it is attacking these rocks now, and you can see it's trying to provide that inspiration debuff, and some of the commanders will have to do something with it, but there are a bunch of lings already ready to deal with this, and unfortunately that ling is not in hold position, which is just causing the run. Now there we go, now the lings are been put onto hold position, and that Killbot goes down. Zagara is now ready to start pushing in, and I think she'll move towards clearing this enemy base. Again, we have the Apocalypse as well ready, and the goal, just try and clear those enemy bases. Clearing out all the enemy structures is going to be really, really important. There is a Frenzy that gets cast over here, and Zagara basically smashes through that next attack wave that'll be coming up, and there we go, Zagara will now be clearing there. And over here, we can see that Stukov has already taken his expansion, and he's clearing the rest of these rocks here. Zagara, there's an infest structure that gets put down here just to provide a little bit of extra damage to Zagara. Zagara doesn't really need it though. There we go. And now there are just a bunch of gateways and stuff. There is another Killbot that has spawned, but Stukov has noticed that, and it's going to use his infested to provide the units for the Killbots to kill over there while Zagara cleans up this side here. With that probe just spazzing out. And there we go, that probe, the last probe goes down, a few more probes keep getting produced, and yeah, that base will hopefully go down at some point. Again, Zagara is like a little bit weaker in the early stages. Her army doesn't really deal a lot of damage, but eventually, there we go. So, this side has been cleared. There's a baneling barrage that goes down, instantly wipes out a large number of the units over there, and now there's a hunter-killer there with a frenzy that will be used to kill out the hybrid. So, because the site has been cleared, there will be no more Killbots that will be spawning on this side. So Killbots will only spawn from one of these two sides. And hopefully if the mission is cleared completely, there will be no Killbots spawning at all throughout the course of this mission. So there we go. Zagara is ramping up her economy, slowly but surely. There we go. We have another Killbot over here that is trying to kill some of these infested units. and draws aggro of some of them, and it'll eventually end up killing itself as well in the process. There we go, that killbot goes down, and now Stukov is pushing into the side, and Zagara is coming up from behind as well to help. But now there's an attack wave that's coming up, and I think Zagara has decided to turn around and help Stukov defend the side, which is a good call because the 2 bunkers are usually not enough to deal with this attack wave. But Stukov will start slowly pushing in, applying constant pressure to this enemy base, and eventually this base will fall as well. Production-wise, everything is going okay. Stukov is getting the bunker heal upgrade, fast regeneration for the bunker, so he's going for a mass bunker build, which is again really good here. And Zagara now has started to push in and starting to delete this enemy base here with her army. And again, you have to make sure you clear all the enemy structures. The other thing you also have to make sure is you take out all enemy probes. So sometimes the probes will hide in the random corners of this mission, and if you do not actually clear all the probes, like this guy, for example, see how that probe actually survived? It's gonna go and it's gonna start rebuilding everything. So I think none of the players have realized that that probe is still there. So it's going to start rebuilding everything, and the killbots will start coming up from that side again. Again, another bunch of killbots here, bunch of Zerglings on hold position, and that killbot goes down. And again, you want to make sure that you get these killbots before they start going up to the death bots and the murder bots and the killbots. Because once they start requiring 15 kills and 10 kills each, it becomes really difficult to deal with them. So all clearing the mission is a priority over here. See, like personally for me, I would not have done this bonus objective just yet. I would have done that a little bit later. I would have started pushing into this enemy base here just to make sure there are no more killbots, because you already have a large sized army. Now there's another army that's coming up here, 2 attack waves, and they will start pushing in on this side. And there we go, Banelings move into position, instantly wipes out this attack wave. Over here we have Stukov's units here. I don't think there are any siege tanks there. I think Stukov would have gained a little bit of benefit by having some siege tanks as well added, but they seem fine. And again, Zagara just holding position, just making sure these killbots go down. You do not want these killbots inside your base, just wrecking a lot of havoc. So there we go. The killbot goes down, and now there is a frenzy, and Zagara is going to start pushing through with her army and start clearing out these units here. Veiling Barrage goes down, cleans up whatever's left of that attack wave, and now there are just a bunch of hybrids that need to be cleaned out as well, with Zagara's army falling behind. And you have to make sure again you get these probes over here. There's another attack wave that spawned on this side, but Stukov's army of bunkers are ready. And he's also got the infested jump ability, which closes the distance between them and the attack waves, which also makes it really, really useful. And now we have another attack wave that is spawning on this side, and Zagara is going to use a Baneling Barrage to instantly clear out a large number of the units in that attack wave. Now there's one more killbot left over, but that killbot is probably going to kill up the Zergling and eventually die at some point. There we go. And that enemy side now just needs to be cleaned up. Whatever structures are there needs to be cleared, and those probes also have to be cleared out. And you see over there another Baneling Barrage goes down, and there we go. There's a focus fire down on these probes just to make sure that nothing survives and rebuilds anything, because if these probes survive, they will rebuild the enemy base here. And you can see here these pylons have already started to come up. So there we go. The killbots now will only spawn from this side because the players have left that probe alive. So Stukov again will have to push into this side just to make sure he's clear. Look at how they've rebuilt everything here. It's like they've rebuilt a nexus and therefore rebuilt more probes. And now again the priority is to go and clear this base all over again. And they will start rebuilding the cannons and stuff. But Zagara's army is back and it's like, nope. I'm having none of this, and they start clearing it. There's another attack wave now that ninja Stukov's base here. A bunch of the Banelings get redirected. It ends up taking out a lot of sentries from the back there because they use a lot of their energy to deal with the infested, which is pretty good. They kind of isolated themselves and clumped up together. Banelings got a lot of good value over here, but that attack wave ends up being cleaned up, and now Zagara is going to clean up this enemy base here once and for all. It is done. Now, there will be no more killbots spawning on this mission. So now, the goal is to just basically survive for the rest of the game, and to be honest, Inspiration and Speed Freaks is not too bad to deal with. So far, the Temple has only taken 8 damage as a result. There's a lot of scary hybrids now. They're providing a lot of Inspiration buffs to the units, but Zagara's army is now also in position, and she will help start clearing out this side here. The hybrid goes down. And there's one more hybrid there. That hybrid gets cleaned up as well. And now this side, this next part of the attack wave also gets cleaned up. There are a bunch of sentries here, but sentries stand no match against the banelings and zerglings here. They're actually kind of surviving reasonably well. Void Thrasher has spawned on this side. It ends up dealing a bit, like 50 more damage to Temple. A little bit less than that, but there we go. But that ends up going down as well. And now there is one last bonus objective to be cleaned up. Zagara's army is just absolutely massive. And yeah, ends up wiping out the small number of defenders on that bonus objective. And that bonus objective will go down. There's a Frenzy as well, just to increase the amount of damage output to get Zagara in position for the next part of this mission, which is the air attack waves, I believe. Zagara needs to get into position to make sure that she has her army ready to deal with the drop attacks and the warpins and stuff. But again, Stukov has locked this mission down as well, reasonably well. There are bunkers all over the place. And now Zagara tries to engage this, but one of the annoying things about sentries is they like to do this. They like to put down a lot of force fields, which makes it a little bit annoying when you're playing Zagara, especially if you want to ram your banelings in. You know, there's nothing more satisfying than sending an army of banelings into there. But now Zagara is going to start producing some Scourge, instantly one-shots the Tuna Fish hybrid, and there we go. Zagara will need a few more Scourge to deal with the rest of the drop attacks, but there we go. These Scourge are now going to be parked on this side, and they'll be ready for the next drop. Now there are a few warping attacks that will be coming up, so that's the first one. There'll be a second one that will be coming up as well, but that should be very easily wiped by the armies that are there and ready. So that was the first warping. I don't know where the second one already warping. It's possible the second one already warped in there. Oh no, there's the second warping. Now that warping has been cleared. And Zagara is good to go. Already going up to the higher level attacks as well. I think still at level 1 attacks though. I don't know what the ground attack level is. But all the upgrades are done for Zagara's unit. So getting the Adrenal Overload is really important for the Zerglings. And Scourge are waiting over here to deal with the next airdrop. So gets our army into position. Gas Frenzy starts to deal damage to this Void Thrasher. This Void Thrasher will go down very, very quickly. There you go, Void Thrasher goes down. And now Zagara's army is back into the center of the map to hold. And as you can see here, Stukov has already put down some siege tanks. These siege tanks are going to be really valuable for him. Just needs a few more siege tanks on this side, and he'll be set. The attack wave that has spawned now on this side will be engaged by Stukov's army. Stukov has not moved the Psi emitter yet, so there we go. Now he's moved the Psi emitter, they'll be able to clean up whatever is left of this attack wave here. There are a bunch of Phoenixes, and that is why Stukov has actually added some of these missile turrets here, just to start weakening these Phoenixes and take them out. There is an attack wave again that has spawned on this side, and that Tuna Fish hybrid decides to ignore the entire attack wave here. I have no idea what is up with the pathing for this thing. It's like, it doesn't even go for the temple. It just goes to the other side of the map and then it like backtracks. I'm not really sure why. Hybrid's taking a strategic position over here, moving to the corner of the map to reduce the surface area. But they're going down as well. As you can see, there's just such a large number of force fields that makes it so difficult to deal with. But force fields have been exhausted, and now the banelings that have spawned just come in and just wipe out the rest of the attack wave over here. Scourge still waiting for the next drop attack. And there is a Dark Templar there that is getting a lot of kills onto the infested units. And there we go. That is the attack wave done with the Scourge that were just spawn camping that side.
Our allies are in combat.
So the Dark Templar finally gets cleaned up. And all is good on the western front, or in this case the northern front. So now we have some warping attacks over here. So this is the first of 4 warping attacks that have spawned. Stukov's bunkers are, there's an infest structure that comes down on the bunker. The bunkers should be fine, they have more than enough damage output to be able to handle with that. There's another warping attack, I believe, on this side.
Our allies are in combat.
And yeah, unfortunately Zagara's Scourge is not with her army. Should move her Scourge here because there's not going to be any more drop attacks for Amon. So it will be much better to have the Scourge there with her main army. Just provide a little bit more extra damage. And this is the last of the full warping attacks. You can see how just quickly they get cleared up. Got a lot of siege tanks on this side now for Stukov, and these siege tanks will be more than enough to be able to deal with the next, with the main attack wave. Oh no, there's another one there. I think I miscounted. There we go. Those are all the drop attacks, I believe, or the warping attacks that should be spawning. And I think now let's just go ahead and deal with the Void Thrasher and the next set of attack waves will be coming. And these attack waves will be coming up from the sides, and there'll be one final attack wave that will be coming up from the middle of the map. Okay. Attack wave has spawned from the middle of the map now. You can see the number of disruptors there, and this is why having siege tanks is very, very useful. The siege tanks will focus fire down these disruptors. Disruptors do manage to land their shots though on this. Attack wave had spawned, instantly gets deleted by Zagara's army. Now there's a Void Thrasher on this side that'll be engaged by Stukov's army as well. Stukov has a lot of infested now. Zagara has to pull back a little bit because I think the attack wave focus fired down the overseers in the army. So that ends up, there's a Baneling Barrage that ends up going down. Zagara tried to take out those Dark Templars there, but the Dark Templars actually aggro the Banelings and end up killing themselves in the process, which is 500 IQ from Amon. And now we have this last Void Thrasher, which will end up going down to Stukov's infested. There's another attack wave now that is coming up on this side, and Zagara is here now, just waiting to remax her army and get the rest of the units out in position. Getting that Overseer. That Overseer is really, really important because there are a lot of Dark Templars in this enemy composition. And now Zagara has her army ready, and she will get into combine her army together, and now she has her Overseer. And now they will be going in to push into this side here. Again, see these guys just running through here, not interested in dealing with the player units here. Lots of force fields do go down from these sentries panicking when they're on the side of the Banelings. Well, most of this has been cleared out now, and Stukov's army is slowly but surely pushing through this attack wave. There's Zagara again over here, and one Baneling Barrage will end up wiping this entire side out. I don't think. Yeah, there we go. So there's a Baneling Barrage, instantly wipes out some of the Dark Templars as well there, and that is that attack wave done. There are a few. There's a hybrid that's left over here, and the Void Thrasher on this side. Void Thrasher is busy dealing damage to the infested, so it's not going to be attacking the temple, which is somewhat convenient for the commanders. Zagara ends up remaxing her army. Good to go now. There are a bunch of disruptors, but there's a focus fire down on these disruptors, and disruptors end up going down, and that area has been cleared. Now the attack wave has reached the side, but there are a lot of siege tanks and a lot of bunkers to deal with the air units here. And Zagara's army is also in position, so the Scourge end up cleaning up the Phoenixes here. And that side, I think there's only a Dark Templar that's left over there that's harassing Stukov's units. And until the Dark Templar actually hits the Volatile Infested, I think that Dark Templar is going to survive for a significant amount of time. Okay, there we go. That was a manual detonation on the Volatile Infested to kill the Dark Templar. It was very, very creative there. And Zuko was having none of that Dark Templar, and there we go, that is that done. I think that was the last attack wave. That is Temple defended, and that is GG.